Tribunal de Disciplina Judicial. Por primera vez votaremos por las personas que integrarán este tribunal.
A ver.
Escanea el QR de tu INE o entra a Conóceles, Practica y Ubica. Ahí puedes conocer a las candidaturas, sus propuestas, trayectoria profesional, la boleta para este cargo, practicar tu voto y hasta ubicar tu casilla. Este 1 de junio vota por las magistradas y magistrados del Tribunal de Disciplina Judicial.
XHTEC 94.9 FM, transmitiendo con 20.000 watts de potencia desde el Tecnológico de Monterrey, Campus Monterrey, Garzazada 2501 Sur, Monterrey, Nuevo León, México. 94.9 FM, la emisora de radio del TEC de Monterrey, Tech Sounds Radio. El siguiente programa es clasificación A, contenido apto para todo público.
Las opiniones vertidas en el siguiente programa son de exclusiva responsabilidad de quienes las emiten y no representan necesariamente el pensamiento o la línea editorial de esta emisora y su institución.
Experiencias académicas, culturales y personales compartidos por estudiantes internacionales en el TEC de Monterrey.
I like that.
Welcome to the space in which students from all over the world share their exchange experiences with us. Una visión única de quienes llegan a nuestro país y la travesía de los que se van en busca de una experiencia global.
When I went there,
Esto es Global Connection con Carolina Alcántara. Iniciamos.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Connection. Bienvenidos a Global Connection y en este caso vamos a hablar en inglés porque tenemos invitados de Bélgica. Y durante el programa voy a estar haciendo pequeñas intervenciones donde les voy a contar un poquito de lo que estamos hablando. Well, my name is Carolina Alcántara and I'm an international programs advisor here at Campus Monterrey. And today we will explore the lives of exchange students at TEC de Monterrey and the experiences of TEC students who have studied abroad. In today's episode, we will hear from exchange students that study in Belgium. And we have students from Belgium as well. So, welcome. We're going to start with Hector. Okay, Hector, you need to help me out. How do I say your last name?
So it's Hector de Lopem.
De Lopem.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was more difficult. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's because when you read it, it's completely different. It's like you have an H that's not said and everything. So,
yeah.
Like the French language.
Well, welcome, Hector. And we have also Corentin de Belder.
De Belder, yeah.
De Belder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it better, De Belder, than...
Yeah, I
So
so.
kind of.
I tried my best. Well, welcome.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
being here. And we also have Eric Saul.
Hi,
And welcome, Eric.
thank you so much.
And he's representing a tech student that was abroad in Belgium. So I'm really excited to what your experiences have been so far here in Mexico and what your experience were when you were back in Belgium. So let's start. And you're listening to Global Connection here in Tech Sounds Radio.
Crónicas de un intercambio. La experiencia de vivir en México. Chronicles of an Exchange.
Well, let's start with Chronicles of an Exchange. And here you're going to tell me a little bit about your experience here so far in Mexico and, for instance, in Monterrey. So, first of all, from what university are you and what are you studying?
So I'm from XHTEC Brussels Management School, which is based in Brussels, and I study business management.
I'm from XHTEC, it's a business school also, and I'm based in Louvain-la-Neuve, so a small city near Brussels, and I study marketing.
And what brought you to Mexico?
I think the weather.
The weather, the food, the language, Spanish, wanted to learn more the Mexican culture, I would say, and all the travel opportunities to visit different places in Mexico.
And what have you thought about of like the experience so far?
So for the moment, it was quite good. Like people are so nice, and we traveled to Guadalajara, Sayulita, and everything. Tequila, of course, and it was really nice. And people are nice. Like the weather is always nice. We had like 2 days of rain, which is quite different from Belgium. We would have 2 days of sun, and then yeah, like it was just so different. And people were just going to you like, oh, you're an international. We have a party here, and you just go around, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I agree with what Hector said. People are very welcoming here, and we've had already the opportunity to travel during First Tech Week, and it was very nice to see a little bit more of, I would say, like a Mexican city, for example, as Guadalajara, while Monterrey is a bit more Americanized. So it was nice to go into the really like more the standard of Mexico, and so it was really a really fun trip.
And what have you thought about Tec de Monterrey so far? Like as a school, like did you...
Very big, very big campus, I would say, like especially compared to our campuses in Belgium that are very smaller than here. We have about 18,000 students here in Monterrey. And so it's very, very big, a lot of sport, also opportunity. They have tennis courts, basketball, football, a big pool, a big gym. So I think the infrastructure is very, very big and very nice campus.
Yeah, I think you can do everything on campus. So like you don't need other things than the campus. You can go to the BIP to study the weekend until 3 a.m. if you have an exam the day after. You can go to the pool with no problem. Like it's quite easy to do a lot of things in tech.
Yeah, I also think that the international program does a lot for incoming students. Like it was very nice when we arrived a week before the start of the semester, because we had a trip that was organized. We had a lot of activity that allowed us to meet a lot of people. So I also thought that was very nice of Tec de Monterrey to do that.
And what do you think as like Monterrey as a city is so far?
It's really Americanized, so there is like a small part that you can visit, but the rest is a bit industrial. And one thing is like, maybe it's where I went, but it's safer than what I thought also. Like I can go back home from a party. I wouldn't recommend it absolutely, but I could go back home from a party in the night and without any problem. Maybe it's around the tech campus, but that's one positive thing. And even like the city, everything is like in 15 minutes of an Uber, so it's quite easy also.
Yeah, I agree that it's, as I mentioned, like Monterrey for me was also a bit more Americanized, but I still think that it's a nice city. Like we have like a big Fondora Park that is very nice, San Pedro also to go out, and Barrio Antiguo also. So I still think that it's a nice city. But yeah, I think I mostly came to Monterrey because of the campus and of the big tech campus. So yeah.
And how is it different from Belgium in terms of, I mean, you already said the weather, but let's say about food and...
Yeah, I think here they love spicy food. I like it. I think Coco would disagree with me.
Yeah, I hate spicy food. So.
But yeah, generally like it's different. It's like in Belgium and in Europe, the cities are more made to be walkable, and also for example in like everywhere you have public transportation and everything that's on time. So like here there is some buses, but you know that you will not take them if you have a 15-minute walk because they are a bit too late, or you never know. So yeah, I think that's quite a difference. But like the food is one big difference. I think we love like our mother homemade dishes, while here it's like more. I think it's also mother and grandmothers that make the best dishes, but it's like tacos or campachana and everything. So yeah.
And do you find that the culture is really different from Belgian culture?
Yeah, I would say yes, because it's totally different. Like in Belgium, we go out differently. For example, like we love parties at home and everything, while here they go in clubs, or like it's more common to go in clubs. And like also, I think one difference that we have is what we do at parties. Like we love beer in Belgium. It's like one of the biggest things. Here it's more about tequila or doing shots and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Hector said. And for the food difference, definitely very different. Like even on campus, you have so many different types of food. And like, for example, XHTEC, where my study is, like you only have one cafeteria, and so there is only one type of food. And if you don't like it, you have to go somewhere else to eat. And so I think here, there's a lot of diversity, and everywhere there's little food places to go when you walk around, even around the campus. And we don't really have that where we live. It's very very different, I would say.
What's your favorite thing about Mexico?
We have to choose between the people and the food.
Yeah, it's a hard choice. Okay, I'll say the people. You can see the.
Okay, I can say the food. I can say the food.
And why?
Why? I think like wherever you go, and because we discover every time we go somewhere, I think like when we go, for example, eat the tacos, each tacos place has a different type of best tacos.
Yeah.
I discovered Trompo. It's like so good. I will try to import it in Belgium, but
you also have like I found out you have like breakfast taco, then you have tacos for the after party that open until 4 a.m. Then you have taco at lunch. You have even different type of the day. You know, like when you can eat the tacos.
Yeah, you can eat tacos all the day.
Yeah, all the day in different places. Yeah, it's really nice. And for the people, I would say what really nice is that very welcoming, as I said, and even when they hear that, for example, Spanish is not really good, like they still try to help us or understand us, or they would ask us like, oh, where you're from, because I hear that you're not from here, and then they try to get some interest from where we are, ask us some questions, and I think that's really nice.
Do you think not knowing Spanish has been a barrier, or
I wouldn't say I don't know Spanish at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
A little bit, but I think the level is, it's improving at least by speaking with people. But I think at Tech, it wasn't really a barrier, but outside it was more because, when you go to a restaurant or to, I don't know, like stores, or you have to ask something, usually people only speak Spanish. But I think, we can still make us understandable. And so for me, it hasn't really been such a barrier.
Because you already knew Spanish before,
I learned
right?
at school,
my Spanish was a little bit more difficult, but still like during these times, like we have a lot of technologies. You pull out your phone and you put it in French or in English, and the translator does the work, so it can help. And like you always have one friend or two that can speak a bit Spanish when you go out, and so that helps. And then you try, and now I can ask for some things in Spanish, so it's quite useful. I can live on my own.
Like when you went to Guadalajara.
We were able to express ourselves, and our friend Tom and me were trying to also speak in Spanish, so it was alright. We didn't have really any issue with that.
That's nice. Yeah. Well, for everyone that's listening, I'm gonna change now to Spanish to give a quick wrap. Estamos ahorita con Héctor y Corentin y nos están contando un poquito de su experiencia aquí en el Tecnológico de Monterrey y en México en su intercambio. Y nos están contando un poco cómo les encanta la comida, en especial el trompo. Y que también la gente es algo muy importante para ellos acá. Y que se han sentido que, pues que al final Monterrey tal vez es esta ciudad industrial muy grande, pero también que la sienten que es segura. Y pues continuamos. Recuerden que también nos pueden escuchar en YouTube y ahí nos pueden también ver para que nos conozcan. Y están escuchando Global Connection en Tech Sounds Radio.
A miles de kilómetros, descubriendo un mundo de posibilidades. Thousands of kilometers.
Y regresamos con A Miles de Kilómetros y como les había comentado, durante el episodio voy a hacer pequeñas intervenciones donde voy a hablar también en español para hacerles como un pequeño resumen de lo que estamos hablando en inglés. Y bueno, continuamos con Eric. Welcome, Eric, and tell us a little bit about your story in Belgium.
In Belgium.
And well, let's start by what do you study and where did you went to study abroad?
Okay. Well, I study here in Monterrey. I'm from Ciudad Juárez. It's a city even more in the north of Mexico. I'm studying strategy and transformation business here in Campus Monterrey. And I went to Brussels I was living there and studying there in Solvay, that is like the Faculty of Management and Economics of ULB, Université Libre de Brussels. Well, I mean, it was totally different that I thought. You know, like I have my expectation, but it was like so different. You were talking about like the weather and the culture, but it's like a totally different thing. Especially here in Monterrey, you know, like the weather is so like always sunny, you know. And Belgium is like there's no sun. There's no sun.
Really?
Like just one day, I don't know, like I don't know. There was no sun, and it was like something that I was like, how is this possible? No, for me, I didn't know that had happened in a part of the world, like how you live without sun. But well, something that is like similar in culture, I mean, is I think the people. Also Belgian people is like so welcoming, and maybe you don't know them, but it's like, what do you need? How can I help you? You know, like that's something that we have like in common, the Mexican and Belgium. For me was different things. For example, you mentioned also the public transportation. You know, here in Mexico, I don't know how to use the public transportation because it's a little bit difficult sometimes. Also, the things at the time, or for example, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to use it. No, but in Belgium, it's like so easy to use. No, I was living a little bit far of my university, like 14 minutes in public transport. So I had to take a bus first and then a tram. But it was like experience, because for me it was like the first time using that. And also it was like, I mean, it was so easy because even you can download an app of the public transport, and the app tells you that what bus you have to take, what tram, what time, like everything. So even if you don't know like someone to tell you, because for example here in Mexico, I think a friend can teach you how to use the public transportation, you know? But there's like, you don't need that. You can download an app and just, you know, take the instructions there.
That's nice, because I think, as you were saying here, you actually need someone to explain how to use the public transportation, because there's not an app. And even if there will be an app, as Hector was saying, like the times are always
like I know the app is talking about like you can follow also like live timing and everything, so it's
very nice.
And also if the bus is delayed, like also it
will tell you on the app.
Yeah, so it's really nice.
But if you want, we're still looking for a teacher for Mexican public transportation.
And well, the food, the waffles, amazing. I went to Bruges, and there wasn't a waffle with cherry or something like that. I don't know if it's a touristic place, because there is like some, I don't know how to say that, but there's places that are touristic and it's not like the same flavor, you know, it's not like the real Belgian. I think you have to look for you have to look for good places, no? And when the flavor of this waffle was amazing. I mean, I think changed my life. I can say. And also, for example, the French fries.
They're not even French fries.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry, the Belgian fries. Yeah. Oh my god!
Watch out!
Sorry for that. Yes, I also discovered that in Belgium that there is no French fries. It's Belgian fries.
Why they're even named French?
Because I think it's a long story, but like in the war, the Americans came to Belgium. They were like, "Oh, fries, really good," and the people were speaking French, so the Americans were like,
Americans just
French
thought because
fries.
French, you know, it comes from France.
It's like the hamburger is apparently American, but it comes from Europe also.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wow.
Yes.
So if in Belgium they call them Belgian fries, not
No, we
French
call
fries.
them fries.
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 Just fries.
Just fries.
only in America, like America, like in
In,
here
like,
we use
in
French
English,
fries.
it's called
Ah.
French fries. So like
Yeah.
everywhere around the world, they use French fries. But we just know like if I say in French, I'm gonna eat some fries. Like je vais manger des frites, and it's like no problem. Like we,
I mean, God, I would feel like it's like stealing the tacos, you know, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it Colombian tacos.
I feel the same in Brussels because there is a place that is like Otaco.
Otaku.
You know that?
Yeah.
So the name is Otaco, but it's like French tacos.
Yeah.
But there's no tacos. It's like
it's
like a burrito, something like that,
Like a
with
wrap.
fries, like a wrap,
Yeah.
with fries, cheese, and
Like Chipotle in the US.
something like that.
Kind of, but you add fries.
Yeah,
in
It's,
it.
it's a French.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
It's a French brand, restaurant brand, and it's like
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And is it
French
famous?
tacos.
And they call it otaku.
Yeah, in-
yeah,
yeah,
Belgium
it's
is
like-
famous.
I mean,
Belgium
it's
and in
good.
France, really
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a taco.
I mean, if I don't know why they decide to do that against Mexicans. We are not Americans. I mean, we're all we're Americans, but not that type of Americans.
Yeah.
Well, and like, would you say that the waffles are the equivalent to the tacos? Like Belgian waffles are the equivalent to tacos in Mexico? Like because I mean everyone knows tacos from Mexico, but would you say it's like that?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we have like a lot of dishes that
Yeah.
could compare. I would say more the fries because
Mm.
when we go outside, we like our specialties are like chocolate fries, waffles for some people, and beer.
also,
So like
yeah.
Ah, really?
yeah,
Like I think everyone thinks about beer like in it's Germany.
yeah.
But Belgium has some good beer also.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what would you say is the difference from the Mexican beer to the beer in Belgium?
I think the flavors. I mean, we have like a few types of beer here in Mexico, but there is like cherry, different type of fruits, more sweet, you know, like totally different. Like you have, I don't know how many are, but I went to Delirium in the center of,
Yeah.
of course,
You have a lot of
Every tourist go there, yeah.
in the center of Brussels, and there is like a so touristic place, but they have like many difference of beers. I don't know how many are.
I think we have like each city has its own beer, like each region has its own beer. So we have so much beer that, yeah, it's like if I go to Mexico and I try a kind of tacos from Monterrey or from Guadalajara, it's going to be totally different. Like,
yeah.
everybody has his beer, and maybe it's also stronger in Belgium, the beer.
Yeah, I mean, there's strong. Like, also, I mean, I don't know how to say that. Like the percentage of alcohol, like,
Yeah.
here in Mexico, like the traditional one is, I don't know, like 4, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's around 4, 8.
Something like that. No, there's like 12%.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what
When we arrived here, we were looking for like beers, and saw they were all so light, and we were looking
Yeah,
for
Yes.
stronger
like
beers.
the strongest beer was like 6%. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I found something.
And if you were to say to someone that was going to, like a Mexican that was going to visit Belgium, like what they should do or try when they are there.
Talking about food or
No,
whatever?
like it could
like
be whatever it comes to
experience?
your mind. Yeah, at first.
Well, I think okay, yeah, meeting new friends, but Belgian friends that can tell you what is like a real experience, you know, not like something touristic. Because when you are a student there, I mean, you are living in Brussels, you are not like a tourist, so you have enough time to experience like how is the real life in Belgium, you know? So I don't think the people from there can tell you exactly what they do, or the most important places, the food that you have to taste, you know, like all of these things. So
Like the secret things
yeah,
that
the
you
secret
wouldn't
things,
know.
not the things that Google tells you, all the things that you can know. Like a real person talking to you and telling you what you have to experience.
I think you also have that experience here so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
also
better.
met some Mexicans that help us going around.
Find some local places.
Yeah, find a local place, exactly.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about an exchange is that you can actually immerse in the culture rather than just go by and like just see a little bit of it, of it, right? Well, overall, I'm gonna change a little bit back to the Spanish and then we come back to English, but yeah. Bueno, estamos hablando ahorita con Eric y nos estaba contando un poco de su experiencia en Bélgica y nos contaba que le encantan los waffles de allá, que fue hasta casi como una experiencia de que cambió su vida el programa de un waffle allá porque pues fue muy bueno, ¿no? O sea,
sí,
te gustó mucho.
realmente uno pensaría, o sea, yo iba con esa mentalidad de que son waffles, de que qué puedes esperar a lo mejor de un waffle. No, o sea, el sabor es totalmente diferente, la textura, o sea...
Y creo que no se encontró acá waffles en ese estilo, ¿verdad?
No. O sea, y es algo tan loco porque digo, es un waffle, ¿sabes? O sea, pero sí.
No, de hecho sí te entiendo, porque yo cuando estuve en intercambio en Canadá, yo probé unos waffles de Bélgica, pero pues no son de Bélgica, o sea, nada más es de que alguien que es de Bélgica que lo está haciendo en Canadá, pero pues sí eran muy buenos, no imagino cómo han de ser en Bélgica. Sí. Y también algo que ahorita me dio mucha risa es que las papas fritas, aquí las llamamos, o sea, bueno, aquí decimos en español papas fritas, pero en inglés se dicen French fries. Papas francesas, y pues de hecho lo curioso es que son de Bélgica y es algo como que los americanos en la Segunda Guerra nos están contando que pues robaron eso y lo hicieron porque pues alguien que estaba hablando francés dijo, mira, papas, y están hablando francés, de franceses, bueno, French fries. Y digo, pues bueno, imagínense que eso nos pasaba con los tacos, como dijeron ahorita, Colombian tacos, no, o sea, tacos colombianos no, pero bueno. Sigamos aquí, bueno, sigan por favor acá escuchándonos en Tech Sounds Radio. Regresamos después de un corte comercial y están escuchando Global Connection con nuestros invitados de Bélgica y volvemos en un momento más.
¿Juegas básquetbol? Arma tu equipo y compite con los mejores en la duela del Wellness Center del TEC de Monterrey. Borregos 3x3 Hoop Fest. Equipos de 3 y hasta 4 jugadores. Categoría femenil y varonil. A partir de 10 años hasta categoría libre o elite. Borregos 3x3 Hoop Fest. Del 23 al 25 de abril. No te lo pierdas. Inscripciones y mayores informes en tech.rs/Borregos 3x3 Hoop Fest. Fecha límite 18 de abril. Borregos 3x3 Hoop Fest. Una fiesta de básquetbol que no te puedes perder.
Por miles de años, el arte textil en México ha sido desarrollado y heredado por las mujeres indígenas, testimonio vivo de su historia, estética y creatividad. Descubre su legado en la exposición Arte y Pensamiento Textil, herencia viva de las mujeres indígenas. Del 26 de marzo al 30 de agosto, martes y domingo, entrada libre. Museo de Historia Mexicana. Historias que nos unen.
El 1 de junio, elegiremos a las personas que imparten la justicia en México.
Se renovarán 464 de los 927 cargos que hay en los tribunales de circuito y de apelación. Las magistradas y magistrados que integran estos tribunales tienen la facultad de revisar y resolver las inconformidades, resultado de las sentencias de un juzgado de distrito o de los poderes judiciales locales.
Entra a Conóceles, Practica y Ubica para saber más sobre esta elección.
Infórmate y participa. Este 1 de junio, vota.
XHTEC-949. Desde el TEC de Monterrey, 94.9 FM. El desafío, la integración cultural, The Challenge.
Y estamos de vuelta con el desafío y como les comentaba, si apenas nos están escuchando, pues este programa es en inglés, pero voy a hacer pequeñas intervenciones en español donde les voy a poder dar un pequeño resumen de lo que estamos hablando. Y pues continuamos en inglés. Well, the challenge is more about like telling a little bit about what as like even in Spanish we say valga la redundancia, like, but it's like what challenges have you faced here in Mexico, or what challenges did you face in Belgium, like maybe the language, or I don't know, I don't want to say yes. You tell me.
Yeah, I would say for me, my first obstacle was the Mexico City airport. I was like, so my Spanish first was already not good, but at the Mexico City airport, I was like completely lost, and yeah, for me it was like a whole of of random things happening, and so that was my first experience, the first big challenge. But I got my plane to Monterrey, so that's the principle. And so so the language was really like I had a lot to do for my semester before, so like I didn't have the time to study a lot of Spanish. So I tried to go with it, but it was quite complicated. And language was a bit difficult, but still the people were so nice that we could go around and yeah.
Yeah, one of my first challenge was because of the size of the campus. So the first week trying to find my classes in the big campus was sometimes complicated. We had with the global guide campus tour, so that definitely helped. But still, the first week to find the classes was a bit challenging. I had to leave a bit earlier to be able to find the class and be on time in the classroom.
Yeah, I have a question, Hector. Why did you say that it was challenging in Mexico City airport? What happened?
I don't know, like it was so big and like nobody spoke English. Like here in Monterrey, some people spoke English at the airport, so it was quite easy. And the airport is smaller also, but like there it was so big, and like I had to find some gate A, but I thought there was like different security checks. It was like one common thing, and then you had to separate. Like it was so random, and I didn't sleep for all my flights, so I think like with the sleep and everything, so I was completely
like
lost.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck is that?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
But you're here. That's a good thing.
You made it.
You made it to Monterrey.
Yeah, that's good.
And what about Belgium?
About Belgium, I think that there is different languages. You know, it was like a cultural shock for me because here in Mexico, I think it's more common that you speak Spanish and English, and if you speak another language, like it's not so common, you know. But in Europe, it's like so common that you speak 4 languages or even more. And for example, everything in the city, I was living in Brussels, and in Brussels, you can find everything in French and Dutch, like all the signals in the streets, like everything, the information, like Dutch and French. So it was like, okay, this is different, no? And something easy for me, it was not a challenge, but a lot of people speak English. So I don't speak French, but I speak English. So for me, it was like a normal, no? I could do everything, talk with everyone. Something different, maybe like a challenge for me, could be like move around the city, because I don't know, it's like everything is connected. Maybe here in Monterrey is different because you have like different cities together or so close, but I am from Ciudad Juárez in Chihuahua, and there is like you have to drive like 4 hours to arrive to another city, you know. So for me, it's not like something like in my mind, it's not like normal to you just can arrive to another city in 1 hour. So for example, I could visit I don't know, like Bruges or Antwerp. You know, it was so easy for me to travel there. But for example, also about transport, the train, it was like, I think the first time that I was in a train for me in Brussels. So it was complicated, but you know, like I could understand the signals or also the app, you know. You can use a lot of tools to know what train you have to take. But at the first, I got lost a lot of times in the metro. Yeah, a lot of times I was like taking, because I didn't know that there is like the same number of the bus that is going from one direction, and the same number with a different name, but it's another direction. Yes. So at the first time, I thought like, okay, the number is the important thing that I have to know. So I was taking, I don't know, the 50, but no. I was taking the wrong direction, so I was like getting far away of my apartment. So yeah, at the first time I was like, no, I made a mistake again, and I was like so long from.
Is that happening in all of Europe, or it's just?
I think it's
Belgium?
really common in Europe to have a lot of public transportation, and like he says, like some people go to visit Belgium and they're like, oh, I'm gonna rent a car, and I think the first thing I would say to them, like, take the train. Maybe they will be late a lot of time, and you have to be aware with the strike.
Yeah,
because like here we have a 20-day strike for the moment in Belgium of the trains.
Wow.
So it's happening a lot. But when it works really well, and you can go everywhere in Belgium in like 2-hour train. From Brussels, I think the farthest destination you have to go is maybe a 2-hour train to go to Luxembourg, and you're good. So, like, it's complicated to understand, but once you have it, you're good for all your life. It's like bicycle.
Wow. No, I think because here in Mexico, for instance, in Monterrey, we don't use public transportation.
No.
I don't think how many students you know at Tec de Monterrey that you actually use public transportation?
I think I don't know.
Almost none, yeah. No one does, yeah.
Monterrey is a car city, so it's just like either you drive or you use a bus, like from Tech, or an Uber. Yeah.
Uber, yeah.
Yeah. And I have a question that I didn't ask you before, Eric. Why did you decide to go to Belgium?
Okay. I mean, actually, I didn't know like a lot of things about Belgium before my experience there. But I was looking for top universities in the QS ranking. So I see that ULV was on the top. I think, on the top of the QS. And I think like okay, it could be a good option. So I see the campus, everything looks good. Also the faculty when I was studying, Solvay is a really good school in not just in Belgium, I mean in Europe. So that was like the main thing that I consider for my academic exchange.
And did you think that it was a challenge adapting to the Mexican way of tech, for example, the way that classes are working here? And for you, was it the same in Belgium? Did it change a lot?
The one thing that for us I think was a bit challenging is the fact that attendance here is mandatory and it's not in Belgium, so it's a little bit different. That you have to, teachers are very strict, and also like the way they evaluate for me was also a bit challenging to adapt, because in Belgium you have only the exam that matters at the end, and here you have a little assignment that you have to do every day, little homework, like high school kinda. And so it was a little bit challenging to know that every day you need to check your calendar, like for the teacher, I have to submit this, I have to submit this, and each assignment matters for around like 2% of the final grades, and then the final only matters for what, like 40 or 30%. And in Belgium you just have one big exam at the end that counts for 100%, and that's it.
Yeah, for me it was a bit different, because like in my school we do more workshops and working in groups. But technically, so don't say to my school I didn't went to school in Belgium, because technically it's mandatory, but sometimes you just skip it. And in third year they don't. It doesn't matter anymore. But still, like technically it's mandatory. And I worked more in group works and everything. But the exams counted for 100%. And if you got the exam right, your work during the year counted. But otherwise, it's the final grade of the exam that counts. So that's quite different, And we have like blocus, so like the exams is like 1.5 months where you don't see your friends, you study, and you continue. So
it's very, very different. And also the classes, like I had big auditorium with like 200, 300 students classes, and here like all my classes maybe were 25 max. It's like very small classes. So I think that was also a big difference.
And also I mean, I identified that, for example, in Belgium is like more theoretical, and also for me the evaluation, like here maybe an exam could be like a 20% of your final grade, but there's like the whole grade, and so I was like, I don't know, it was like the first time that an exam for me have that type of impact in my final grade. So it was so challenging.
The period is quite stressful for Belgian students. And you feel it when you see your friends sometimes, or 1 month before the exams, you want to drink a beer with a guy, and he's like, no, I'm not going out, I have to study. I failed my exam in January, so now I have to work for June. And so you feel that the tension is there. And when you walk in the student city, you see other students that are like stressed, and so it's not a time to speak to students for the people in general.
But it was nice, because the weekend, so every 5 weeks we have exam, and here, like for example, the weekend before the 5th week we were like out partying and going to like pool party and stuff, and we would never ever do that in Belgium. Like before exams, you just lock yourself up in your room for like 8 hours a day, and here we were like going out like the night before exams, and it's just so different, you know.
Yeah, don't forget who's listening.
Oh yeah. Sorry, mom.
He was studying, I swear.
I was studying, of course.
With me.
And what do you like more, if you had to choose?
Well,
it's different.
Yeah,
I think I like the adrenaline of the Belgian way, but here it's like he says, we party, we party like weekend before, and we are gonna go to the exam, and we know we studied enough, so like it's so different. So I couldn't compare. I think a mix of both, like one semester each is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I think also the stress is bad. It kills you. I mean, there's...
Yeah, but it's like everybody's in the same stress, so it's a bit of adrenaline.
Yeah, but here is definitely more chill than like the exam period, at least. Yeah.
I think it helps, I mean, having like different homework and projects. And do you feel that you learn more the other way? Or how do you learn?
I think it's quite similar because like I have a lot of group works in my university, even though I have a big exam, and I think you have also quite a lot of group work, so I think I learned the same, but in a different way, and the difference is more like the 5-week cycle than the exams and everything, because
here is more you learn throughout the cycle, and in Belgium it's more like you learn a lot at the end before the exam. Yeah. And so it's more like short-term memory, I would say, in Belgium, and maybe here it's more long-term since you study step by step, kind of.
Yeah. Yes. For me, I think, like, for me it's normal to learn, like, doing things. So, like, a practical thing, working with, I don't know, like a project or something like that. So that's the way I learn. And in Belgium, for me, it was difficult because, for example, the class is, I don't know, like 2 hours, and 2 hours the teacher was speaking, you know, and like you're taking notes like this, and here's like maybe a brief presentation of 3 minutes, then activity, and then another 3 minutes speaking, and then another activity. So for me, it's like more dynamic, and it's like the way I can like understand more, better the things.
And I think, I don't know, this just popped in my mind, like, in Belgium, maybe you cannot speak in class, and here it's more about like that dynamic of speaking with others.
I think the front row can speak, but in the back, like a lot of of people. Yeah, but like sometimes the people are going in lesson because like they need to hear the lesson, but they are, for example, doing something else on their computer. But it's like it differs from people to people, because some people like to hear the professor speak, and some people like to be active in class, and so
it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
So basically, in here you need to go to classes, but in Belgium, if you don't go to classes, you just need to go to the lab.
You have the PowerPoint, and
you can just. And the only thing is languages. It's the only class where you have to go. Like for me, I had 3 languages: English, Dutch, and Spanish, and I had to go to every of those classes. But besides language, all the other classes you didn't have to go.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Now people that are listening, maybe they're considering going to Belgium.
Don't go for the weather.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, because I think even Monterrey, the weather it's not that normal. You know, it changes a lot. We even say that it's kind of bipolar, the weather.
Yeah. That's what people told us before. When we were doing our suitcases back home, we asked people here, what should we bring, and they were like a bit of everything, because it just changes a lot.
Yeah. When it was, when it was here really, what's the opposite of warm? Cold. When it was cold here, did it get as cold as it gets there in a way?
So, because like there was like 1 or 2 nights at really like -1 or 1 degrees, and I was like, oh, I feel like back in Belgium, and you have no heater here.
Yeah, there's like no heater in a room.
It's so hot in general that if you want a heater, you can put the AC on, but it's not gonna do a lot. So like And when you go out of your bed and it's like so cold because there is it's not insulated because it's so hot, and people just don't care. And sometimes people were like, oh, it's cold. It was 12 degrees. It was like, I'm going in t-shirt out. Like, and then I told my friends in Belgium, oh, it's 12 degrees. He was like, oh, it's -3 at ours. I was like, yeah.
But I think the isolation of our house was also
Yes.
a problem because at night it was like I
So
could
cold.
see my breath, like in the room. I know, so it was really bad. But it was only a week when
Yeah,
it
and
got
then
really
after
cold.
the week after, it was like 36 degrees.
Yeah,
was
I
like,
know.
What's happening?
Within like 48 hours, we won like 25 degrees, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, I think it's because it's like a valley.
Yeah.
And what do you felt when you were in Belgium?
No, I mean, at the first, I mean, everyone told me that Belgium is cold, so bring clothes for the cold. And I arrived on September, so
Yes.
it was no cold.
Yeah,
it was
still hot in
yes.
September. Yeah.
If it was this year, we had like some sun until October. I think so.
Yes, yeah. So it's like okay, I just bring there like one short, so I have to use it because it was really hot the weather. So I don't know. It's similar because I mean, again, I'm from Ciudad Juárez, so Ciudad Juárez is also cold. It's not like here in Monterrey. So it was like similar, but yeah, sometimes like the difference is that it's always cold, like during a long time, No, it's like here, like can change like it's
In the same day, it changes.
no, yeah, it's just like whole week or months with the same weather. So yes,
Wow.
but I like the cold, so I really enjoy that.
Do you like the cold?
I think we're happy to see the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's also known, like in Belgium, you could have in one day it can rain, be sunny, be cold, and
Snow.
like you can have the 4
Yes.
seasons in one day, and
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So kind of like Monterrey.
Yeah, I
maybe,
know.
Yeah, but
in
here
a
it's
way.
in 1 week, so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bueno, estamos continuando la plática aquí con Corentin y con Héctor y con Eric y nos están contando un poquito de su experiencia de intercambio en cuanto a pues que Corentin y Héctor son de Bélgica, nos cuentan un poco de su experiencia acá en Monterrey y también Eric nos contó un poco de su experiencia de intercambio en Bélgica y en general pues nos están ahorita contando un poquito de pues esas cosas que han sido un poco complicadas durante su intercambio y pues también la adaptación al sistema, ¿no? Y lo interesante es que allá en Bélgica las clases puedes no ir y básicamente nada más es un examen final donde con ese examen final si lo pasas y si no lo pasas pues ya no pasaste la materia porque vale el 100% a diferencia del sistema que tenemos acá en el Tecnológico de Monterrey donde es un poquito más de hacer trabajos en equipo, tareas, proyectos y pues un examen que al final también cuenta, pero no el 100% que cuenta en Bélgica. Entonces es muy interesante ver cómo pues es algo diferente y al final concluyeron que pues es una mezcla de todo es lo ideal, ¿no? Y Héctor decía que le gustaba mucho la adrenalina que tiene el hacer exámenes, o sea, porque pues dice que como que toda la ciudad, que pues es una ciudad allá que es de estudiantes, está en la misma sintonía, entonces pues se siente ese estrés, ¿no? Y bueno, pues continuamos aquí, están escuchando Global Connection en Texas Radio.
Impacto positivo. Resultados de una experiencia académica. Positive Impact.
Well, now it's time for the positive. Lo positivo. Ahorita les doy un pequeño resumen, pero continuamos en inglés. Y bueno, pues, well, now, yeah, in English. What's the positive things that you would take from your exchange? And did you take from your exchange overall?
I think I can take Coco as a friend now.
Definitely.
No, I think like discovering people and more like, even though I was going out to people, like just go out and if there is a guy that you don't know, just tell him hi and it's gonna be fun. Like in the worst case, it's someone you will never meet again, but in the best case, it's gonna be a good friend and yeah.
That's true. I think for me also, like all the people that we met while being here, and also since some people also European, it's nice that we know that we can see them again because we're going to be living close. He lives in Belgium, our friends live in the Netherlands and Germany, and so we know that we're going to be able to meet up after also. So definitely all the people we met here, and also just the fact that we're very open-minded and just go towards people and not be afraid of what their action will be, because everyone is kind of here to make new friends, and that's definitely something I will keep.
Yeah, for me I think it's the same, like the connections that you can make with people, the friends that you meet there. For example, for me it was like the European friends, like these cultural different things, but at the same time I met a lot of Mexicans there. So you are like in a similar situation, you're far away from home, so it's like a different type of connection. So now I have friends from the center of Mexico, and it's like something, people that you never meet if it's not, if you never been in an exchange, it never happened, So I was so, it's amazing to meet new people. And also, like you are, maybe when you're on exchange, you can feel like alone, or okay, I miss my home, I miss my family, or whatever. But also these people and these connections that you made there is like the power that you need to discover new things, because in a new experience you are discovering new flavors, new places, cities. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, now it's time to also say the positive things about food and maybe beverages. And let's start with Belgium. If someone is listening to us and it's going to Belgium soon, what they should try?
I think what we talked about: chocolate, waffles, beer. Yeah.
But what type? Like, maybe I don't. I think we can say a brand. I don't think there's a problem.
We have to say a good dish. I think like. If it's a Mexican, you can try different types of beer and going higher in alcohol each time. So you can begin with a Stella Artois, then you can go with a Hoegaarden, and then with Gulden Draak, which is quite a good brand, and with a good Belgian dish, like it's a Flemish dish, it's stoofvlees, and with some fries with it. So it's like perfect meal, and you have a perfect dessert to take some waffles or some chocolate with some chocolate on it. And I would recommend the Brussels waffles, because it's my waffles.
I agree with what he said.
Something that I loved in Brussels was the Christmas market, because also like a main place where you can find like everything. Something that I love was the I don't know how to say that. Like the hot wine?
Vin chaud.
It's hot wine with
hot
some candle and
soup. Yes.
Cinnamon inside also.
Oh wow.
Like it's cold, but you can. Yeah, it's like a whole experience, no?
Is it similar to the ones in Germany, or are they different?
It's like blue wine, but I think there is more cinnamon and it's a bit with orange and but I think all of them are a bit similar all in Europe.
Yeah. Who started that market? Do you know?
I don't know. When it's alcohol, it comes from Europe.
But I think we had another episode when they were telling us also a little bit about these like traditions that there are in Germany, and there was also the Christmas markets, and they say that the wine. For me, it's really odd. Like, why would I have wine that it's hot?
You should try it one time.
It's very popular.
You will understand why.
Yes,
it's so good.
Oh yeah,
you have to try it.
Wow. And now let's change to Mexico. What people must try in Mexico?
Okay, well, first of all, tacos. Definitely tacos. But also there is a lot of dishes in Mexico, like enchiladas, flautas, burritos. It's like you have a lot of options. So maybe it's a little bit spicy, but it's part of the the magic of the dish.
I think I would recommend to find some local people and go to a barbecue on Sunday, and even though Coco is gonna disagree with me, I know it. Take some spicy things and try them try. They have like small chilies, really good, but like just try them, and in the worst case you suffer a bit, but it's for the good cause.
But I think it's not fair for Coco because he actually you don't like spicy at all, right? But you do like spicy.
Yeah, it's
right?
not that I like spicy, but sometimes it's so different, and I know I'm never gonna find these chilies again in Belgium. So I try them, and there are some of them I just don't like them, but it's the experience.
I mean, there's ghost pepper as well. So
Yeah.
they say that's. Oh no, it's California. No, California Reaper is I think is the one. That's more.
But and all the sauces are so good, and each restaurant has a different sauce, and local people make so good sauce.
Yeah, but carne asada is definitely a nice thing to guacamole. Also, they have really good guacamole in Mexico. They have the best. And they made it themselves, and it's really, really good. And to drink, of course, you have to try the tequila from Mexico. Definitely.
Yeah. And do you find that it was different, the experience of having tequila in tequila?
Yes, it was very like we saw the whole process of how to make tequila, and we could try also like throughout the process. And we had a tasting also with like she was explaining how we have to drink with the lime or with cafe like in our hands and
I think we actually liked it, like
it was nice.
I was talking with a Belgian guy. He was like, oh, you love tequila? I was like, yeah, but I didn't drink it as a shot. So with a bit of lime, and like it's so good when you drink it good. I think it's like wine. You have to find a good one to like it.
In Belgium we only have like the cheap tequila that people don't really like, so it doesn't really have good reputation. But here, when we tried the really nice tequila, it was good.
I mean, I think in Europe you have like even a thing that it's like I don't know if we can say that brand, but it's something related with Desperate, and it's like tequila and tequila with beer. And
it's Desperados. It's like a Spanish brand, I think, but it's really good. It's really good.
For us, it's just like
Mexicans.
like French fries.
It's a mix of the
no, definitely not.
Of what culture? No,
Mexican and Belgian.
No, that was so odd. When I was in Europe, I was like, why? And it's not even like, you know that tequila is a denominated brand, so it needs to be from tequila to be.
Yeah.
So I think there's an issue there, but
but
though they need to see that later. Bueno, estábamos comentando un poquito de pues ya las experiencias positivas que han tenido acá, y una de las experiencias que más se llevan en sí en general pues es el tener esas conexiones con personas locales que les enseñan un poco de la cultura y todo. Creo que darse la oportunidad de conocer gente es algo muy valioso de su experiencia de intercambio. Y pues ya vamos a prácticamente al final, entonces continuamos con el resumen y el cierre.
Resumen, summary.